Allow us wish you a happy new month, this first day of September 2024. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold and Namuyomba Dorothy on sign language. Without further ado, let's get straight into the news today. In our top story today, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has saluted the Permanent Secretary, the Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, for being a reliable cadre of the National Resistance Movement. The President made these remarks during the 25th wedding anniversary celebration of Dr. Atwine Diana and her husband, Mr. Noah Kanzira, held at Lake Victoria, Serena Chigo. These are the highlights. We do beg your apologies. Let's take a short commercial break and get back.
I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day. Yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Sometimes, the pressure of paying taxes can feel overwhelming. The temptation to cut corners and under-declare your income may creep in. But before you make that choice, consider the cost. Under-declaring taxes might seem like an easy way out, but the consequences can be severe. URA offers resources and payment plans to help you manage your taxes. You can pay in installments if it's difficult to pay in full. Transparency is key. Avoid penalties and unexpected liabilities by reporting everything accurately. To report corruption, call URA on our toll-free lines. Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with baby Junior jelly.
So dried their chariots and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa like baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior's the skin, no more worries anymore. Baby Junior.
Baby Junior.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Thank you for joining us for the 8 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Now, in our top story, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has appealed to mothers to be ambassadors of development, monitors and evaluators of government funds and projects in their locations. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, accompanied by the First Lady, has this Sunday closed the 4 days Women Conference for the Mothers Union of Buganda in Luwero District. Let's have a look.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, accompanied by the First Lady Jane Kataha Museveni, has graced the closing ceremony of the Mothers Union Buganda Conference. The conference on the theme "Let Us Work, Be Industrious and Convince" focused on retooling married mothers.
Participants explored various aspects that contribute to living with a purpose and integrity, aiming to promote transformation within our families, communities, and the nation at large.
It has been running since Thursday, 29th August 2024, at the Timuna schools in Luwero District.
Participants were also equipped with knowledge and skills in adding value to their agricultural products.
So, both the President and the First Lady offered the necessary support towards the retreat.
Appreciate you, Our Excellency, for giving us this opportunity as women to enjoy this nation with the peace you have endeavored to have in this country.
The Bishop of Luwero Diocese, Right Reverend Wilson Chiseka, led the service.
We have gathered to celebrate the contribution of mothers and to address the challenges they face in our ever-evolving society.
As mothers, we play a significant role, as Josephine said, as the Bishop has just said. The mothers do play a significant role in any nation in establishing stable families.
In his address, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, also the chief guest, leaned on the gospel of calculations and modern agriculture.
Saying that if you have 4 acres or less,
nga batuyigiriza nti bw'oba olina eka z'ettaka nnya oba obutawera,
put 1 acre under coffee,
ddira eka emu ogirimemu kaawa, emmwanyi.
second acre put in fruits, especially mangoes or oranges or pineapple.
Eyokubiri teekamu ebibala ng'emicungwa, emiyembe, ennaanasi.
The third one put in pasture.
He also pledged to offer both monetary and property assistance to the union with the call to put them into good use.
Wake up and get involved in chasing poverty. The government has already put in place programs with money there at every at points near you. Every parish we are sending 100 million shillings a year. Assignment of the Mothers Union people is to Okulondora in your parish and Okubanja. What happened? You tell us how many homesteads have got.
Museveni also supplemented on the call by the First Lady to embrace the available opportunities of free and affordable education for all.
The lunch that Mama was talking about.
Kakati ekyemisana.
Even if you don't think of eggs.
Ne bwe gataabe maggi gali maama ge yayogeddeko.
How about okwokya muwogo?
Ate omuwogo omwokye.
In her address, the First Lady, Jane Kataha Museveni, reiterated the need to work towards having a righteous society, emphasizing support to school-going children.
If children are going to school for the day, to go to school and come back in the evening, the mother must ensure that they have lunch at school. And you know, we've been talking about the lunch break. And so the mother has that responsibility to make sure that if a child is going to school and coming back home in the evening, they must have a lunch break with a lunch pack. So you can pack just 2 eggs and maybe a bottle of milk. 2 eggs and a bottle of milk can make a lunch for your child, believe me.
She advocated for an inclusive education for the family.
We should prioritize an all-round holistic education for children which equips them for the future In situations where formal schooling may not be possible, we must consider alternative pathways such as technical or vocational institutes where children can acquire practical skills that empower them to generate income so as to lead sustainable lives.
President Museveni later launched the Economic Social Transformation Pact for this diocese. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
And more in our news, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has saluted the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, for being a reliable cadre of the National Resistance Movement. The President made these remarks during the 25th wedding anniversary celebration for Dr. Atwine and her husband, Mr. Noah Kanzira, held at the Lake Victoria Serena Kigo.
According to President Museveni, Dr. Atwine is a dedicated and selfless cadre who works for the interests of Ugandans.
But Atwine is also a wealth creator. She has been telling me how she's doing farming, both in the village but also here in the town, that she's a rich woman here in the town.
President Museveni also thanked God for the life of Dr. Atwine, describing her as a survivor of catastrophes in Uganda.
Life is about family, as she said, first, life, family, career, wealth, and spirituality. And I think you should add that one also, you people, although you don't see me going to church so much, but I communicate with God wherever I am.
President recalled how he met Dr. Atwine and her family after the 1986 Liberation War.
When we linked up with Atwine, then we supported her through Bweranyangi, Namagunga, then Mbara University, medicine, until she finished. It was easy at that time to support her because she was a bright student. She was a clever girl.
The president congratulated Dr. Atwine for marrying a husband she loves, staying with him for the last 25 years, and building a stable family.
I congratulate you on getting a husband you loved and staying with him and building a stable family. I've seen one or two of the girls, you brought them home, the one who was going away to study.
President Museveni further gifted Dr. Atwine with 50 Ankole cows.
And in remembrance of this occasion of 25 years of her marriage, upon which I congratulate her, I will give her 50 Ankole cows.
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Thomas Tayebwa, congratulated the couple upon achieving the milestone.
But Diana, I really want to inform the public that as who do oversight and the Moyori Kora, you are doing a great job.
On her part, Dr. Atwine thanked God for the gift of life and her family.
Give thanks. And I think Bishop really touched on it in church today. We want to thank God for the gift of life. We want to thank God for the gift of family.
Dr. Atwine also thanked President Museveni and the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mama Janet Museveni, for being parents to her.
Mzee, thank you so much. Today I will call you Mzee because when I call you Mzee, I feel that's what you are. Thank you, you and Mama, for being my father and my mother.
On the other hand, Mr. Kanzira revealed that Dr. Atwine is a loving and God-fearing wife. He also thanked the guests for embracing their ceremony.
She loves her God. Those who are in church, you saw the Bibles. I don't. Secondly, Diana loves her family. She's passionate about her family. The nuclear, the one in the home, the extended. She loves cows. Actually, she loves cows more than her profession. If you have failed to make inroads to Diana, take the cow angle. She will listen to you.
Beautiful memories right there. Now, the UPDF has also reassured the nation of its commitment to protect Ugandans against terror threats, both within the country and near its borders. Now, this follows a response to a security alert issued by the United Nations, which advises its members to stay vigilant and use only recommended hotels. Felix Kulaija, the UPDF spokesperson, states that Ugandan forces are well aware of these threats and urges citizens to maintain their usual vigilance.
Being referred to by the US alert emanated from Al-Shabaab. We are aware, as they have always been threatening our country. Silence does not mean there are no threats. However, we do not disregard what our allies say, because we are allies in the war against international terror. When we saw this threat, it conforms with what we already know. It's not that we are not aware. And for me, I would like to tell our citizens, the best thing is not fear, because that's what the terrorists look for. They seek to instill fear in the citizens. We want to assure you, we are aware, we are in charge of the situation. We can only appeal to the citizens to continue with the vigilance and alertness, coordination and cooperation with the security agencies. Ensure you know who is around you. Where has he come from? Or if you don't understand the person, at least know what is in the parcel bag he's carrying. Don't allow any abandoned bags around. Those are the mitigating factors we do. Otherwise, you can't say there's a threat, so we hide in our houses. No. That threat has been existing before.
Uganda is one of the 30 high-burden tuberculosis HIV countries in the world, with an annual tuberculosis incidence ranging between 200 and 350 cases per 100,000 people. Tuberculosis is the leading cause of death among the people living with HIV and AIDS. Despite being curable, is responsible for over 1/3 of all HIV-related deaths worldwide. Now, the Ministry of Health in Uganda has today held a marathon run to increase awareness on the deadly TB disease and to fundraise for the construction of TB isolation wards at Iganga Referral Hospital.
Uganda is among the 30 high-burden tuberculosis and HIV countries in the world, with an annual tuberculosis incidence ranging between 200 and 350 cases per 10,000 people. It has been found that half of all patients with TB in high-burden countries do not complete treatment, resulting into prolonged infection, morbidity, drug resistance, and death. Ministry of Health has launched a community awareness screening, testing, prevention, and treatment named CAST Plus TB campaign to end TB at the ministry headquarters in Kampala.
As we implement CAST Plus, let us work together to do the following. 1, inform, educate, raise awareness among community members about CAST Plus, encouraging their participation and support. 2, mobilize sufficient and sustainable financing and other resources to facilitate the implementation of the campaign at all levels.
While launching the community awareness campaign, Minister for Health Jane Ruth Acheng says the purpose is to collect data on TB prevalence and increase awareness.
And when we talk about integration, we mean when you go out to look for TB, also look out for other diseases, hypertension, HIV, malaria, and others that you can look for, so that we can reduce duplication and fragmentation of the health interventions.
Consequently, tuberculosis treatment outcomes are still poor for patients co-infected with tuberculosis and HIV. She also launched a TB screening van for Ugandans to know their TB status which van has been destined for Karamoja region. Poverty is key social determinant of health and crucial driver of poor HIV and tuberculosis treatment outcomes.
Right now, we estimate that about close to 300 people every day fall ill with TB disease. So 300 people every day. If you multiply by the number of days in a year, you can see how many we are estimated to have. So that's why we remain among the highly burdened countries globally.
Meanwhile, Uganda National Tuberculosis and Leprosy Control Program Task Force has organized the TB Marathon to raise 2 billion shillings to construct TB isolation ward at Iganga Regional Referral Hospital.
And I would like to inform you that we are creeping towards 100 million mark. After this run, we are going to look at it and evaluate and see what amount of money that is also in the marathon that was held in Iganga. We want to add that together and we make sure that we start that project.
A number of medals were awarded to the best runners in the 5, 10 and 15 kilometer respectively. Tuberculosis is the leading cause of death among people living with HIV and AIDS and is responsible for over 1/3 of all HIV-related deaths worldwide.
District local governments in the Busoga sub-region have petitioned the government to intervene in the rising land disputes. Leaders highlight the unresolved degazetting of 48 villages in Mayuge district, where 500 hectares from Bukaleba Central Forest Reserve in Bukatube sub-county remain in contention. The ongoing conflicts involve neighboring communities, the National Forest Authority, and the Busoga Forest Company. Now, this issue was raised during a joint council meeting chaired by Iganga District Council Speaker Bernard Mpugu at the district headquarters during the conclusion of a Land Awareness Week.
And that despite President Museveni's directive to degazette 500 hectares from Bukaleba Central Forest Reserve for the 48 villages in Malongo and Chitierera sub-counties, Parliament has yet to pass legislation to formalize the process. Local leaders also query the manner in which some individuals acquired land titles for Lorwe Island, Mutumba Town Council, Mutumba Rural and Banda sub-counties in Namaingo district.
Information that there is someone who is owning Lorwe sub-county with one title. So people of Lorwe were very, very much worried, because they were asking themselves, where are they going? And who is owning that land as an individual with one title?
The spokesperson, Participatory Land Use Management Uganda, Joshua Aijuka of the civil society organizations, observes that many women, girl children and people with disabilities are facing challenges of land ownership.
In many ways, people's rights to land have been affected through the massive acquisition of land without very fair compensation, without very transparent procedures, without ways through which issues can be addressed. Issues that are happening can be addressed. Issues of food insecurity have become rampant. Issues of women land rights are emerging very strongly, where women's rights to land still remains a big challenge, despite our constitutional provision that women and men have equal rights to own land.
This spokesperson, Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Dennis Obo, says there is ingenuine land compensation, leasehold land titles that are released without the knowledge of the community members.
You need to know who is on the ground, who is in those 48 villages. Some sort of mapping needs to be done before the distribution is done, so that the right and genuine people who are on the land, the customary owners, are the ones who get that, and not the unscrupulous big people who you are talking about. So
the Director Land Management at the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Naomi Kabanda, who represented the State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, rallied political leaders in the region to develop a work plan for land compensation in the region.
We need to engage, and I would request them that this kind of meetings are good, but also let's give these people simple information packaged, maybe in Busoga or in English, on how do I register my land.
The annual Dance Week Festival has been launched in Kampala, with this year's theme focusing on creating awareness about the dangers of climate change. The festival was launched by the Youth and Children Affairs Minister Balam Barugahara at the National Theatre in Kampala.
The annual Dance Week Festival has been launched in Kampala. This is the 18th of this kind in Uganda.
This is the 18th edition, but we have spent 5 years. It stopped before COVID, so the last 5 years we didn't have it because of COVID.
The launching event has happened at National Theatre in Kampala by the Youth and Children Affairs Minister, Dr. Balam Barugahara.
Where the name was good, no matter how Father created it, by the fruitful hands of people, and formed a sacred path to the moonlight.
We are here to launch the Dance Week. This year's theme is focus on climate change, on conservation of our environment.
This was a moment full of entertainment. According to the organizers, the day is looking at creating awareness about the dangers of the looming environmental degradation.
This time round, the theme of this Dance Week Festival 2020 is we are dancing into climate action. So our theme is based on climate change.
This has been wrapped in entertainment, dance and drama.
And also propagating and trying to see how we can use the arts as a tool in implementing some of these communication strategies.
As a climate activist, as an environmentalist, I think it's a good initiative to involve the youth and young people in activism and fighting the global crisis of climate change.
But why is Kampala not being spared?
All involved to get one thing, Kampala, our strength, our inspiration to the youth. Kampala, who make us bold and draw into strong youths. Kampala, our breath. Kampala, our strength.
Kampala needed this message 20 years ago, 50 years ago. If we had it 50 years ago, we wouldn't be where we are. Whatever scenarios, I know people would want me to quote the recent scenario of Chitezi and whatnot, but whatever, that is just a small thing compared to what's coming.
I call upon all Ugandans, let us listen to the call of UN agencies and the environmental conservation agencies. This environment, the danger of global warming is real, and also pollution. Let us do whatever we can to preserve our environment as government.
With the young and the old embracing the call to preserve environment, almost everyone is concerned and excited about the move.
The young people have shown and exhibited their talent, and it's quite nice that we come as government to support these young people.
Through art and drama, it has been emphasized that Ugandans can receive the message throughout the entire country.
Because climate change is a complex subject, it is not very funny. If you bring people there and say, I'm going to talk about climate change, they are going to run away. But if I use dance, if I use music, if I use any form of art, any creative art, it's very easy to engage people. And as you can see, we are just making drums and all that, but people are already coming. They are being pulled from wherever they are to come. And while they are here, we are throwing in messages that help us to build a better future.
Through art, we can impact, and the message can reach those ones who are degrading our environment. I'm extremely excited and happy to see the talent. We used to do the same so many years ago, but now they are doing it better. Girls are hitting drums. It's really nice.
The environmental change has been a concern not only to Uganda, but to entire globe, with such calls and innovations being received by two hands. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Kampala Archdiocese has embarked on a target to raise 4 billion shillings annually, an ambitious journey to transform lives and uplift communities through the Sabasumba Annual Appeal Fund. The project, spearheaded by Archbishop of Kampala, Paul Semwogedere, seeks to support various humanitarian initiatives across the Archdiocese. The launch at Chisubi Catholic Parish in Entebbe realized over 170 million shillings.
The Kampala Diocese of Catholic Church has launched the Sabasumba Annual Appeal Fund project to raise 4 billion shillings each year to support humanitarian initiatives in the Archdiocese. The Archbishop of Kampala, Paul Semogerere, launched the project at Kasubi Catholic Parish in Entebbe. He was commended parishioners for supporting vulnerable communities. Entebbe Municipality Legislator Michael Kakembo hailed the Catholic community in fundraising for development programs.
We invest in heaven, we save in heaven. Whoever gives out is given in abundance. And so we are calling upon everybody who is willing to give. May God bless you.
The chairperson Sabasumba Annual Appeal Fund, Edward Kanyike, said each Catholic member in Kampala Archdiocese will contribute 2,000 shillings per year.
The target for this year is approximately 4 billion Uganda shillings. This fund to build schools, hospitals, repair some of our properties as the Catholic Church.
At least over 170 million shillings was raised in both cash and pledges.
The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, the Most Reverend Dr. Samuel Kazimba Mugalu, has tasked parents over family responsibility during school holidays. He was also laying hands on them to affirm their commitments to Christ, urging them to follow his footsteps at a service held at All Saints Cathedral here in Nakasero.
The Lord has spoken to us.
Every year, All Saints Cathedral Nakasero holds 2 confirmation exercises to allow children and students to renew their commitment to God.
Lord, these your children with your heavenly grace, that they continue to be yours forever, and fill them with your Holy Spirit.
However, due to disparity in the education and learning syllabi between international and Ugandan schools, the cathedral set August holidays as confirmation for international students. The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, also Bishop of the Diocese of Kampala, His Grace Dr. Stephen Samuel Kazimba Mugalu laid hands on over 40 international students.
Defend, O Lord, these your children with your heavenly grace. Defend, O Lord, these your children with your heavenly grace.
Another 10 older persons also committed their lives to Jesus Christ.
So we must learn, we must lean on God. What does it mean? Trusting Him wholeheartedly.
Dr. Kazimba reminded the parents of their role in ensuring children remain Christians.
You younger people, you come from good families. Minus Jesus, the devil can make you forget even where you come from. That's why you find children from good families, they have been taken by alcohol. They are married to alcohol. They donate their feet to jiggers. Because there is no Christ in them. They think everything our parents have is ours. No. You have your parents, but you are alone. You must learn to fight for yourself.
He also urged the students to follow Jesus Christ and read the Bible besides their academic books.
You must walk by God's directions. And how do you handle that? You must read the Bible. If you don't read the Bible, you know we have many books. But these books, they are read, and at one time they are all forgotten.
I'm Ivan Joko and Viola Nasubuga for UBC.
For the Father, the Son.
In a bid to assess the performance of government programs, the RDC Secretariat has embarked on traversing the country to ascertain the effectiveness of government programs and the extent to which the citizens are benefiting from those programs. The assessment tour that is rolled out under the theme One Team, One Dream According to Major Martha Asimwe, the RDC Secretariat head, focuses on achieving the President's socio-economic transformation agenda as entailed in the 2021-2026 NRM Manifesto.
During a monitoring exercise in Manafwa district, the RDC Secretariat team uncovered several issues, including absenteeism of health workers and theft of drugs at Bugobero Health Center 4.
There is theft of drugs. And to be specific, this theft has been going on in your health units. But now it has emerged because you used to transfer a problem. This problem has been there in the district and over a long time, but you continue to transfer that problem.
The team called on the district leadership to take immediate action.
The first thing is when you get this and there is evidence, you interdict. You have either failed in your job or your DHO has failed you in your job.
It is a wake-up call that we must re-examine our conscience in regards to our performance in our respective areas of operation.
Manafwa District Health Officer Ephraim Nahoho confirmed allegations of drug theft and absenteeism that stated that the leadership has implemented strict measures to combat these issues.
It is true, makes this requisition. Now, another one could be official. They could write like 3 items, then goes and adds to make 10. Those are the things we discovered.
In a meeting with the district leadership, which included the chief administrative officer, the district chairperson, and other department heads, Major Martha Asimwe challenged the leaders to take swift actions against those sabotaging government programs.
Health is wealth. We have made 2 statements. We have said, one team, one dream. Health is wealth. So those who are supposed to take decisions must take decisions.
The team also visited a government-funded project, Sumi Seed Secondary School, which is currently under construction. They praised the government for its effort to enhance the quality of education in the area.
It started as a community initiative, but now it is transforming into a government institution with better facilities.
RDC Secretariat is currently in Bugesu sub-region to monitor government programs and engage with the district leadership to ensure better service delivery. Benon Mukwaya, Muhammad Yega, UBC.
A senior lecturer at Chambogo University, Reverend Canon Dr. Grace Lubale, has challenged the public on job selection aligned to personality types, which he says is responsible for corruption in the country. He was speaking at a conference on professional and business guidance aligned with personality types at Kampala International Christian Center in Kampala.
Bring them something.
There is a rising concern over misallocation of public resources, which has placed the country in the spotlight over corruption. But during a conference on profession and business guidance aligned with personality types, Chambogo University Don, Reverend Canon Dr. Grace Lubale, tipped government with a simple solution to ending corruption.
Look at the politicians we have. Politicians who, you see, look at all the scandals of corruption. Politicians have a big share. They are our leaders. So the general output, the GDP of the country, can't go any better because the leaders, the managers, the systems, look at how we recruit people in employment, public service, due service commission, and across. The level of corruption we have that we recruit people who are supposed to be there. So somebody is a headmaster when all should have been a headmaster because doesn't have the competences, the calls to be there. The right person because he didn't make bribes. Once given a job, so you give somebody a school, and the school can't be productive because productivity is seen across. If you are supposed to have 600 students in the school, because of a bad headmaster, the kids are 400 to 300. They should have passed at a level of A and B and C. They can't because of a poor headmaster.
The conference was organized by Peace Means Africa to help people align their professions with their personality type C. Dr. Lubale told the conference that there is a need for self-peer and superior assessment as motivations in ending the state of theft in the country.
If someone did one or two things where he has a lot of competences, it's like to excel to up to 80-90%. When we do category, do everything together, we do mediocracy, 50-60%.
So this raises concern on policy issues and government position on placements depending on personality type C. A facilitator, Dennis Irambona, said two things will save investment C: career adaptation and the lifespan of small and medium-scale enterprises.
Government education institutions to make sure that behavior tendency is a key decision factor whenever a child has to decide for what should be the career of his or her life.
But there is still a debate on choosing a career based on self-employment and being employed raised among participants C.
We have that character of following someone's interest before seeing what you are motivated at. Like now I have learned how to follow my personality without seeing other people's side.
Identifying or examining yourself, it's where you can gain in your personality after knowing it.
In the training, Peace Means Africa targets guiding and encouraging everybody on self-examination to discover the right professional career aligned to personality type C as an investment in business management. Robert Katamba, UBC News.
The State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, has commended non-government organizations for improving the livelihood of underaged or underprivileged communities, to say. The minister was at the headquarters of Sufficiency of Scripture Ministries in Kubamutwe, Katikamu in Luwero district, where over 500 persons with disabilities received wheelchairs and walking sticks.
Over 500 persons with disabilities have received wheels from World Program by Sufficiency of Scripture Ministries, Minister Dr. Muyingo and John and friends. The beneficiaries include children and the elderly from Bosika Bamnanika in Luwero district. State Minister for Higher Education Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo and the Chief Executive Officers, Source Ministries, delivered the consignment. The function was at Kabamutwe, Katikamu in Luwero district.
I want to thank the Johnny and the friends for the generosity, for the love they have for our people. And I want to pray that God blesses you abundantly with whatever you want, because you are doing a wonderful job. On behalf of the government of Uganda, I want to once again thank you and promise that we shall give you all the support you need within our means, of course, to achieve, to implement your mission.
Minister Dr. Muyingo commended non-government organizations for partnering with leaders to support underprivileged communities. The Chief Executive Officer, Source Ministries, Shannon Harey, and the Regional Coordinator, John and Friends, in Greater Luwero districts, Anthony Basava, says the Wheels for the World program was established in 2018 and over 2,000 persons with disabilities have benefited.
Started partnering with Johnny and Friends since 2018. For the last 7 years, we have been distributing wheelchairs and other amenities devices. And so far, we have given 1,700 wheelchairs.
We're honored to have you as a visitor to SOS Ministries here today. And I'm just impressed. I'm impressed with you as a gentleman and you as someone who clearly cares for the people. And to come out here and take the time to be with our people in Kubamutwe is a real blessing and an encouragement to our community.
Benon Mokwaya, Salongo Kasivante, UBC News.
showing your fire. Has Nabole Stadium opened its doors once again? While you were warm up in it, you were the 12th player. When Uganda Cranes needed you the most. Through our famous wins and our unlucky losses, you stood firm, supporting even louder. Now, as Uganda Cranes take on South Africa and Congo this September, South Sudan in October, and play our second legs against South Africa and Congo in November, bring even more fire! Because with your support, Uganda Cranes is unstoppable! Uganda Fire! Proudly brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Uganda Cranes. Together, we are unstoppable.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. In the world of business, the Director of NRM Mobilization, Honorable Rosemary Seninde, has called upon women to engage in government programs to develop their communities. She was meeting with Catholic women at St. Luke Church of Uganda in Nkumba, where she highlighted the vital role women play in driving progress and urged them to seize the opportunities offered by various government initiatives.
Honorable Rosemary Seninde, Director of NRM Mobilization, has called on parents and community leaders to actively combat the growing issue of moral decay and work towards a brighter future for their children.
To thank the women of Uganda who have come out so strongly to work for the development of their homes and the development of our country. I want to assure you, my fellow women, that the government of Uganda, led by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has come up with so many programs that will help us get out of poverty. Many of those programs are like Yoga, Parish Development Model, and others. We cannot develop if we don't appreciate and cherish these programs. I want to call upon all our women, whether in the church, like today, we are here in Nkumba Church of Uganda, where our Christian women are celebrating the day of Maria Magdalene. And because of this celebration, they are trying to fundraise for a project. They want to do a project in Sese Island, and that is growing of palm trees.
Speaking at a gathering, Seninde emphasized the importance of community involvement in addressing these challenges.
So I want to call upon the women, but also to call upon us as women to ensure that as we work, we don't forget to play our part in nurturing our children. Many of our children are being disorganized by social media. We don't give them a chance to learn how to sieve the bad out of the good, or the good out of the bad. So we need to help our children find time and make sure we guide the children, we nurture them well in order to have a good future for our children.
Reverend Father Julius Matovu appealed to government to prioritize the construction of the Nkumba-Kasenyi Road, which is crucial for boosting local businesses and economic growth.
Ate waliyo n'ensiigi ezivaayo otutuusiza okusaba kwaffe bwenabadde n'omusumba w'Enkumba yasabye n'agamba nga bwe balowoozezza ku balala nabo gye bali ekkubo nga tuyambe balituyire kakoolansi sikulagidde kusabye busabi onootutuusizayo eddoboozi eryo onooba otukoze bulungi.
Christine Nabitaka, a local leader, urged women to utilize government programs and initiatives to improve their livelihoods. The community remains hopeful that the government will respond to these pressing needs and unlock further development opportunities. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
The Luo community in Uganda is moving to revive the consumption of its local foods as a way of rediscovering its roots. This is partly aimed at reviving culture and promoting healthy living against non-communicable diseases. This was evidenced at Great Habib Wellness Resort in Kasangati, where numerous foods from the Luo community were showcased and feasted on to the enjoyment of consumers.
Inside these containers is a collection of prepared local food varieties from the Luo community of northern Uganda. This one is called Agira in Luo. a magira in Ateso and magira in Lugwere. It is eaten with millet bread, also known as konkal in Luo, atap in Ateso, and wita in Lugwere. This food combination is enjoyed by both northerners and their immediate neighbors from eastern Uganda.
I wouldn't want to say that the inorganic foods are not good. They're good, they also have their own benefits, but I can be biased on them and go more for the organic foods because I know they have little or no side effects at all on your body.
Communities testify how it feels to eat these meals.
The vegetables, you know, that they use a lot of greens, you know, and they dry the greens up and they mix it with paste, and the sauce is nice, especially the malakwang. I like the malakwang with the potatoes. That was my best one.
Children hailing from this part of the country are now being introduced to the local food menu.
I consume more of organic foods because we are also blessed with organic food in Uganda, and that keeps my body in shape. I can't just go for junk, you know.
Sometimes you eat boyo, agira, and konkal, mogo. We eat them always, so that keeps us healthy. People who eat chips, chicken, I have to tell them that you have to eat your local food to remember who you are.
It's a parent's duty to make sure they take their children back to their roots, like to show them their roots, where they really come from, so that it's easier for you to introduce them to their traditional dishes.
All this took place at a momentous occasion held at Great Habib Wellness Resort in Kasangati. The idea is to revive cooking from the Luo community in northern Uganda.
These foods are unique because they are very healthy. Everything is organic, sourced right from Lira, Gulu, Pade to Kampala. And that's why we felt that it was important for people to actually have a taste of these foods.
The fact that we're trying to promote the originality in certain things, it brings us to not using the GMOs. So at least from the Luo, what we have experienced from the Luo culture, most of their foods are naturally prepared and they go through the natural process.
There is testimony that local food could fight non-communicable diseases and promote cultural tourism.
This is our first edition for the Luo Food Festival. We are planning on going now to another region, that is now the eastern side mostly, and then we shall also do the west. The most important thing is to bring out the originality, showcasing the foods that are coming in from all these ethnic groups. That is, at the end of the day, we want to promote culinary tourism and diplomacy because so many people that actually come to Uganda barely know these foods.
From pasted meat, smashed peas, sweet potatoes, and all other food varieties, the quest for revival of local Luo foods remains on course. Henry Okrut, UBC.
And in sports, the national football team, the Cranes, are in South Africa for their AFCON qualifier game against the Bafana Bafana of South Africa. The early arrival is to train steady fast for the game on the 6th of this month at Orlando Stadium. Drawn in Group K, the Cranes have a challenging road ahead to secure their place in the final tournament. The team's itinerary includes a return to Uganda on the September 7th, following their match against Bafana Bafana. This will allow the team to regroup and prepare for the crucial home fixture against Congo. While the Uganda Cranes have assembled a strong 28-man provisional squad under the guidance of coach Paul Put, there have been some setbacks. Team captain Ismail Watenga believes they have what it takes to perform. The Uganda Cranes are aiming for a top 2 finish in their group to secure a coveted spot in the final tournament, which is scheduled to take place in Morocco between December 21st, 2025 and January 18th, 2026. And still in sports, the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Moyingo, has pledged support to sports ventures to talented youth in the rural areas. The minister was officiating at the finals of Kalaso Muzanganda football tournament, where he sponsored at Zirowe Playground. The game was between Kachere FC and Namawoja Football Club.
The Kalaso Muzanganda football tournament, sponsored by Minister John Chrysostom Moyingo, has reached finals played between Kachere FC and Namawoja Football Club Zirowe Playground. Over 20 teams from Bamnanika participated in this tournament. In the finals, also witnessed by State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Moyingo, Kachere Football Club. Kachere FC beat Namawoja Football Club 1-0. The winners with goal, with the match witnessed among others. The lonely goal by Kachere FC was scored in 80th minute of the second half after. The State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Moyingo, later handed over the brand new motorcycle to Kachere FC and the bull to Namawoja FC in the second position. He cautioned the youth against politicizing the tournament.
Buli tiimu eneetabanga mu kintu kino nayo njagiwanga ekirabo. Olwaleero ngenda kubawa emipiira 40. Naye ngamba nti tujja kutula na bano balabe ebirabo ebiweebwa buli ki. Si buli tiimu kunanaasembangayo ne nga tumuwa ekiki kubanga nze ndabye.
The Kalaso Muzanganda football tournament leaders hailed the minister for promoting sports in the area.
Era oye akagoba babadde bagamba balimba minisa takisobola kwogera bavubuka bawa bajaji era balimba minisa oye akagoba webale nnyo.
Salongo Kasibante has compiled the report.
That brings us to the end of our 8 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Do join us later on at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. My name is Wadulo Arnold, and Dorothy Namuyomba is on sign language.
Thanks for tuning on UBC. My name is Kutesa Milu with your weather update. We are still having thunder showers dominating most parts of the country. Nevertheless, some other areas are experiencing sunny intervals. See the satellite picture, we're having a rainbow still hovering over most parts of the country, but more especially in the northern sector, in combination with moist winds that are blowing in from Indian Ocean and the southwestern, coming into our country, more especially the northern sector. That's the reason why the northern sector is more active than other areas. Tomorrow morning, we expect to wake up to a bright sunny day, parts of Nakasongola and parts of Mubende, apart from capital city Kampala and the nearby areas where I expect to wake up to a thunder showers. Moving to the eastern part, we are waking up to a light showers, and the western stretch, most of it is going to have sunny intervals, apart from Masindi, where we are seeing light showers. The northern sector is expected to wake up to a light showers, apart from Arua, where we are seeing sunny intervals. In the afternoon hours, we are seeing a pickup of light showers across parts of Nakasongola and Mubende at a maximum 28 degrees Celsius. Across city Kampala and around nearby areas, including Masaka, is expected to have sunny intervals at a maximum 27 degrees Celsius. The eastern part, we are seeing a pickup of light showers, parts of Soroti, but the rest of the area with sunny intervals at a maximum 28 degrees Celsius are across Jinja and Tororo. The western stretch, we are seeing a pickup of light showers in the afternoon hours at maximum 28 degrees Celsius across Masindi, 30 Kasese, and 24 24, Kawale Highlands, but in Mbara we are seeing it with the 28 and the domination of sunny intervals those ends. The northern sector, a pickup of thunder showers expected in most parts of Chitugumu, Gulu, and the rest of the area at maximum 28 degrees Celsius, apart from Arua we are seeing it a little bit low at 27. This is moving out of Uganda. Trend is across the globe. You're forecasting sunny conditions across Abu Dhabi and Cairo at maximum 41 degrees Celsius across Abu Dhabi and 36 across Cairo. Washington DC and Beijing with sunny intervals at maximum 28 degrees Celsius across DC and Beijing with the 27. London with cloudy conditions at maximum 23 degrees Celsius. Thanks for tuning on UBC. My name is Tessa Millie. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.